This is my review of the book Primal Leadership, Realizing the Power of Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman, as part of the project for Leadership 9100. The author, Dr. Ronald Goleman, Ph.D., from Harvard, specializes in psychology and brain sciences, and specifically the area of emotional intelligence. Overall, the book makes connection between brain science and leadership of people. It states that emotional intelligence is an important and complex tool for leaders to understand and utilize. The author provides good examples and anti-examples of leaders' use of emotional intelligence with varying degrees of success. Some of the terms that are stated in the book are the amygdala, which is part of the brain that triggers the fight or flight response. Attuned, leaders' ability to be aware of and tapped into the emotions of subordinates, as well as resonance, when leaders' remarks and actions appeal to the subordinates on an emotional, deep level. The opposite of resonance is what the author describes as dissonance, when leaders' remarks and actions do not resonate with subordinates and can result in employees not feeling passionate about the mission and direction the organization is headed in or the leader wants to take them in, and thus they can end up working against or in a different direction from the leader. The author also goes through several leadership styles. Pace setting, which is the way that the author states most leaders tend to lead. They were achievers themselves, and they think that if they can just get their employees to work a little harder like they did, then the leader will be more successful, the organization will be more successful, and the subordinates will be. It does not always provide a good connection to anything emotional for the employees. One goal after another, working a little harder, trying to motivate employees, trying to push them to their limits. Employees tend to feel like no matter what they do, it's not enough for the leader. It can lead to the firing of the amygdala, which is the part of the brain where the fight or flight defense mechanism is for the employees. And it's categorized by the author as use sparingly with caution. There's also the visionary leadership style. Leader articulates a vision to the subordinates. The vision must resonate with the employees. The trick is actually getting people to understand and see the value in the leader's vision. And it's important to use in certain situations where change is needed. But the visionary style can apply to various other areas. Overuse can be bad, as employees tend to lose focus if it's just focused on vision rather than the day-to-day, and the other style, which is coaching. Coaching works with direct reports and other employees on a more one-on-one basis to be diagnostic and see what they need. The leader is focused on convincing the subordinates that it is in their best interest to follow the direction of the leader, and they provide constructive feedback to the subordinates. This is not similar to what I think of when I think of my coaches in an athletic sense growing up, but I do remember some examples of coaches who were like this. Most of my coaches were probably pace setters and driving and yelling and a lot of that sort of thing, whereas this tends to say in the book that coaches are more contemplative, working one-on-one, that sort of thing. He also emphasizes assessment and professional development in the areas of emotional intelligence and emotional competencies, and it should be something that's regularly assessed by the leader, and areas that need further development should be through mentoring or further reading, reflection, worked on. He also states that these should be assessed from a 360-degree perspective, so that all areas, direct reports as well as leaders can of the leaders can provide their feedback in terms of their emotional intelligence. My assessment is I agree with the book that emotional intelligence is important for leaders, and it's more complex than probably we all think it is. I found some of the examples that the author gives about various leaders and their successes, their challenges, to be some of the most interesting and most compelling. Most of the book is really, I think, common sense, but it is valuable for your reflection of your own personal leadership style, and I would recommend this book, especially for those who are trying to change their leadership style and or the organization.